How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for clicking on the video. If you're not subscribed, please click that subscribe button. Maybe leave a like, comment, all that stuff definitely helps the videos out, especially when stuff like this happens. I am currently re-uploading that Willow Rock camping video that where my friend Amber and I went camping because of audio sync issues. I thought it was going to get sorted out on its own, but it did not. So it's always a weird, like, risk to pull down a video that's doing so well and then re-upload it and start fresh. But I'd rather have audio working properly, because audio is the one thing that can absolutely make or break any sort of cinematic adventure, whether it's a huge Hollywood blockbuster or just a simple vlog here on YouTube. If the audio sucks, it really takes the audience out of the experience, either through annoyance or disbelief or just harsh judgment, let's say. Morning, Stella. Anyway, I cannot believe it is already that time again, but it is summer and I do a lot more. We're off to a great start. I do a lot more traveling in the summer, obviously, so Lucky's engine is under a little bit more strain than it is usually. So it's time to do an oil change again. That means I got to go back up to you, Ranch. We'll get Lucky. I got to slow down just a little bit. Gonna go get Lucky up on the hoist so I can do that oil change because of my back issues and all of that. I'm getting old. I don't want to crawl around on the ground anymore. But also, it's probably time for her to have another transmission fluid flush, or just change, whatever you want to call it. Those don't normally get done too frequently. The average is like 40 to 60,000 miles. But also, when you are either towing or hauling a lot more, you should do it more frequently, like 30,000 miles. And then up here in Canada, I got to convert that. And since the last time, don't you jump and knock the camera, you come here and sit with me. Hello. Since the last time I did that, because I changed the transmission fluid, bye-bye, on Lucky when I first got her, and that was around 177,000 kilometers on the old odometer up there. I'm closer to 238 now, which is about 60,000, 61,000 kilometers. So I think she's overdue. The reason I say hauling is because Lucky's a hefty lady. She's got a lot of stuff in her with the build and the bed and all the cupboards and cabinetries and the collection of power stations I've accrued over the last year and a bit. So she is under a lot of stress. So that puts the transmission under more stress. All that is to say, it's probably time to change the red fluid. So I picked that all up yesterday. I got my fluids here, got my oil and my ATF fluid for Lucky. It is Dexon 6, I believe is what it's called. This big box right here is also an air filter. Figured I may as well just do it, keep it on the same sort of maintenance schedule as the oil. In the box there are my oil filter and the transmission filter, plus the small bottles of fluid that I will need. And down here on the ground eating, of course, we have Penny as per usual. Hey, Penny. Hello. Hi, good girl. And then up here, let's see, there we go. You can see the videos right here. There's the first one I uploaded. I have it marked as private now because it still says processing up to HD, and that is what's causing the audio sync issue. Super strange. And then we've got this one that's just final checks running, and hopefully it will be good to go. And now you're back up here. What's going on with you? I'm speaking loudly. Is it time for you to go take a dookie? That's what you do every time I start a live stream. Some people's kids. Tail. So that is the plan for today. The risk you always run when going up to a place like U Ranch, which if you're new around here and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a garage that rents out bays for you to do your own maintenance work. That was probably pretty self-explanatory, or at least evident. I know, we're going so soon, darling. The risk you run is that they don't book the hoists. It's just first come, first serve. So there's been a time or two I've gone up there and I've had to wait. Once I had to wait with my friend for well over 2 hours. Another time I didn't even get the call and I had to come back the next day just because you don't know what people are doing. And plus, when you get a car up on a hoist and you start pulling shit apart, sometimes it doesn't always go back the way you want it to. SMRT. I am so smart. And of course, since I'm going to be in the garage, well, hopefully I'm going to be in the garage, I cannot, in good conscience, go in there with the flippy floppies on the feet. So, I'm going to put some socks on. We're going to wear our shoes. Go up here to our nest of socks. Hello, Stella. She is all over the place right now. Shocking. Slip on some Dixon socks. Hey. Good to go. And wear the booty boots. Oh, they're up there. Perfect. Everything's sort of squared away back here. Yes. Battery's looking decent. The shorts. Stuff them in the corner. This should be a fairly simple job. Very minimal tools. I'm going to need a 15mm socket to take my oil drain plug off, plus probably an oil wrench to get the filter off, because again, with how much driving Lucky does, I usually find that my oil filters get tightened on there pretty darn good. And then I will need a 10mm bolt to take off all the little bolts. 10mm bolt. I will need a 10mm socket to take off all of the bolts that surround and secure the transmission fluid pan to the bottom of the transmission, because that's the only way to drain it. And then unfortunately the only way to fill it is to go back down through the dipstick. This happened to me in the very first time. I don't know what it's called. The shaft, we will say, where the dipstick goes, so you can check the level of the tranny fluid. So, all right, is this done yet? Ooh, it is. Now I can set that to go live and we'll see how well the video does. Fingers crossed. I've never had to do this before. Yikes! All right, she's all posted back up. Community post made, pinned comment pinned, and it's in the hands of the YouTube gods now. So, and I guess the community, whether or not they want to sit through the same vlog they probably watched last night, but. All right, it is what it is, as they say. Well, let's have some water and then hit the road. Like he's not the only one that needs a little bit of a fluid change. What? All right, we did give the batteries a deep charge over at my cousin's last night on shore power, but they've come down a little bit, so let's start Lucky up. Let that fuel pump kick on. I think that might be part of my issue. There we go. DC to DC charger. Pray for the best. All right. Window blocker down. Oy. All right. Other window blocker. Nice. All right, Penny. Duck. Don't forget to turn off the house lights. Hold on to your butt, Stella. Here we go. All right. Off to you, wrench. Yeah, I know. There's not a lot of room for you by the boxes. You better just sit down on a bed or, yeah, come on my lap. Either way. Everybody just calm down. Alright, oh yes. How did I forget my caffeine already? Aha! Ooh! Second to last one. There you go. Our turn. Ooh, big truck's turning too. We can go. So as always, when I go up to you, Wrench, I will do my best to show what I'm doing and explain it, but sometimes the garage is so busy or it's loud or I just want to get it done and, you know, stuff happens. It is all very straightforward. Transmission fluid change can run you quite a bit more money, like if you take it into a garage, than a regular old oil change. But it's actually not that difficult, but it can be a little bit messy depending on how much control you have of your surroundings. That's very crooked. That's better. But yeah, like there's no, on my van, so on the Chevy Expressway, there's no drain plug for the transmission fluid. That's why you take the whole pan off. You just loosen all the bolts, don't take them all out. Loosen them enough where the pan just sort of hangs down on one side, and then they let all the fluid pour out. And when the majority has come out, take the bolts out, or the rest of the bolts out, and remove the pan, dump it out. I'm gonna clean it all out with brake clean, get it all nice and clean inside. Inside the pan, there is a magnet that collects metal shavings from the transmission, changing gears and all that stuff. Hopefully it's not too bad. That's what you're always hoping for, that there's nothing catastrophic that has happened inside the transmission. And then, yeah, just change the gasket on the pan. There's a gasket comes with the filter. Change the filter, which is not like an oil filter. It's literally just like this press-in, weird-looking, I think Amber called it a mini radiator-looking thing. I can't remember, but she's not wrong. It does not look like an oil filter, right? Which is cylindrical. Is that a word? It is now if it's not. And then, yeah, and then you just fill it back up through the dipstick shaft. And I think in this case, it's going to be about around 5-6 quarts of transmission fluid that I'm going to need, roughly. And this doesn't get rid of all of your transmission fluid. There is a whole bunch of fluid that stays inside the torque converter. So unless you're going to take it into a shop and get them to flush all of that out, you just kind of live with the fact that there's dirtier fluid in there still. But it's still a best practice to change this fluid. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, must be a little muggy in the shop today. They got the door open. Let's go see if the hoist is available. Oh, perfect timing. But not really perfect timing per se. They just, I don't know, I think they have one of their vehicles maybe they had just on the hoist, so he's moving it right away, and I'm coming right in. So this should go quite smoothly, and I'll feel a lot more better. I will feel a lot better about my upcoming trips, because we're going camping this coming weekend, fairly far away with Lindsay, Sadie, and Amber. It's about a 3-hour drive. That's not normally how far we drive for a weekend camping trip. And then after that, the following, I think Friday, I'm taking off with my little girl back out to see my family out in the Kootenays. I haven't been out there actually for a while, which was nice because I was doing that drive so constantly. It was getting a little dull. So it was nice to sort of have a breather from that. Now I'm looking forward to doing that trip again. So let's change some fluids. Here he comes in his cute little Jeep. All right. Which means we can now go in, Penny. She's back here again? Stop breaking the house, Dad. I'm not breaking it. It's called maintaining it, lady. Let's roll down the window so you can hear what we're doing. So I can hear what I'm doing? Well, so I can hear any instructions that I might need. Oh! There we go. it's not too busy, I'm actually going to take advantage of the fact that I have access to more drain pans, and I'm just going to let that oil drip out, because oil can empty for a very long time. And since I'm here doing this, I'll just make sure we take our drain plug, put it in there for now, don't lose that, and then we will crack all these bolts off of the transmission pan, which is this guy here. Hot! Made a little bit of a mess. And how frustrating. Those oil filters that I bought are not the right ones. Stay tuned to find out the whole shenanigans and run around for that. So that's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to put my old filter back on, which is good because I didn't have to crush it to get it off. This is usually what happens. I'll have to put that back on, and you can actually change your oil filter without changing all of your oil. You lose a little bit, maybe a quart or something. We'll have to do that tomorrow or the day after or something, because I can't leave here without an oil filter in place. And I bought two of the same ones, and neither one of them fit. The style's different. So the book at Auto Value lied to me. Now I just got to get the rest of the transmission pan off. I've got the old oil filter back on and the drain plug in, and cleaning up my mess and moving right along. There we go. Filter. Magnet. A little bit. Not too bad. Okay, got it all back together. Let's lower her down, put some fluid back in, and then I'm gonna need a shower. And sometimes you forget to push record. All right, I put the oil in. I put the big bottle of ATF in. Before I put the small bottle of ATF in, I'm gonna fire it up and we'll see. But first, let's take a peek at Lucky's air filter. Not the worst. We'll replace it anyway. All right, moment of truth. Ooh, it's always nerve-wracking when I'm doing the transmission fluid. Fuel pump, oil, air, transmission fluid. Yikes. And so I don't know how detrimental it is, but I'll let it run for a minute or so, and then I'll cycle through my gears. I'm in neutral now because the garage likes you to leave the vehicle in neutral so they can position it on the hoist and whatnot. But yeah, cycling through the gears. Well, I guess they are technically. It's an automatic transmission, but that's why I make a face. Park. Okay, sit in because the tires are touching. Push the brake. Nice delis. Reverse. Back to neutral. Drive. 3, 2, 1. I don't know. Park. Give the transmission a bit to warm up, because on your transmission dipstick there should be a cold and a hot level. You're supposed to check your transmission fluid with the engine running. So I'm gonna go do that and try to stop cutting my head off. It's very hard to tell because you have to put the fluid in through the shaft, and then the shaft is covered in it, so this isn't a very accurate reading. recycle the boxes. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go on faith on the fact that when I did this last time, it was just one of those big jugs I put in, and I'm just gonna go drive lucky because you were charged for how long you are in the garage. So we'll just pull her out, we'll go for a rip. I'm probably gonna go to the Flying J at this point, because yuck. And then we'll test it, we'll let it seep down, you know what I mean, run down the shaft, so to speak. Ugh. And then we'll test it again, and if I have to add that quart, we will add that quart. But I think we'll just get the heck out of here right now. That's what we're doing here. Slowly but surely. There we go. Pull ahead, straighten her out. Look out, Stellies. All right, well, I'm gonna stick to the plan and head on down to the Flying J. Probably make myself something to eat because I haven't eaten anything yet. But I was just talking to one of the owners there. I had no idea they're gonna be gone in a month. They sold the place, and she doesn't know if the new owner is gonna keep it keep it open as a do-it-yourself garage. Ain't it always the way? Just when you discover something, I'm sure it's been here for years. I was just completely ignorant and unaware of it. And now it's going bye-bye. Well, maybe not, but I mean, they're super nice there. It's always been a treat to go there and work on it because they're just, you know, they're just lovely people. But good for them. It's retirement time. So I can't knock them for that. All right, let's cross our fingers and pucker our buttholes and pray that Lucky's transmission doesn't explode. Woo! I'll smell like the garage. Everything fell off the counter in transit. What else is new? There you go. So, I will double check the transmission fluid. Everything was shifting fine on that drive all the way down from the north to down here where we are, and that's looking at my crotch. Wow. But first I'm going to eat, then I am going to go shower. That'll give the fluid time to, you know, and then we will fire it up. Lucky needs gas anyway. I need a level surface to check the fluid on. So we'll go to a gas station and that'll be that. But in the meantime, let's make ourselves a Sammy, shall we? All right. Yes, we'll have to take this oil filter back as well. Should have the right receipt. There it is. All right, what do we got in here? Some cat opts, some nonsense, some deliciousness. Oh, we got this too. Nice. Man, it is getting sparse AF in this fridge. Damn it! The bread is all moldy. That's too bad. best laid plans. I mean, I've had this bread for a while, so I guess it's to be expected. I got this at the bakery out in Maple Lake, and that was a while ago. You're not cutting off the yuck and eating the bread anyway. If you do that, you a savage. All right, well, it's a good thing. I got this little buffalo chicken salad thingy from Safeway. We will eat that along with some dilly dip and carrots and maybe some cucumber anyway. Woo! Boy, let's make a nice little spread. I don't need the vitamin anymore. That was to make toast. But cucumber's so stupid. Talk about a nonsense phallic vegetable. Yuck. Yeah, that's enough. There's also only one way to make cucumber edible. Hack me off a hunk of cheese, please. Maybe two. Feeling frisky. Nice. There. Bone apple tits. Move the knife so you don't cut yourself. It's not quite the turkey sandwich I was hoping for, but... Ooh! That smells good. Buffalo chicken salad. Like a fork. I'm a savage myself, but not that big of one. Delicious. Oh, that's tasty. Deli salads from Safeway, man. They're the best. All right, got the bag ready to go in for our shower. I'm hoping it's not too busy in there, but first we're gonna kick off these nasty looking things. I guess they're very quickly becoming my shop shoes. Probably gonna need to buy a new pair of Skechers. They're just a little bit covered in oil. Yikes. Give me back to flippy flappies. Boom. All right. And got this fan pulling in some air. Let's hi-ya ourselves back here. And see about getting this one pulling out. So the kitty cat's got nice fresh air. The sun's actually trying to poke its head out through the clouds, which is nice as well. So long as it doesn't get too bloody hot.
Thank you. I'll see you inside.
How you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Am I able to get a shower?
Yeah, let me just quickly check how many I have open.
Okay.
The shower is now ready. Please proceed to shower 6.
And there you go. It's always so much better to be less covered in transmission fluid. I'm gonna leave this one here and go enjoy the rest of my day, which probably means doing a whole bunch more van life chores, but it is what it is. Until the next one, everybody, just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourself. Most importantly, be positive, and remember, only dead fish go with the flow.